Working on or near energized electrical equipment such as pull boxes and vaults requires strict adherence to safety regulations outlined by the National Electrical Code, known as NEC, and the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, known as OSHA. These regulations are in place to protect qualified electrical workers from potential hazards such as electric shock and arc flash. According to NEC Article 110.26, work on energized electrical systems and equipment must be performed by qualified persons who employ safe work practices. This means that individuals must have the necessary skills, knowledge, and experience to safely work on or near energized equipment. NEC Article 490.24 specifies that only qualified persons are permitted to open, remove, or install covers of pull boxes or vaults. This restriction ensures that only trained professionals access these enclosures, reducing the risk of accidents. NEC Article 490.25 emphasizes the importance of energizing pull boxes and vaults before commencing any work inside. However, there are limited exceptions to this rule. Work may be performed on energized equipment if firstly, it is necessary to restore power to an existing circuit, secondly, it is necessary to make an emergency repair, or thirdly, it is necessary to test or inspect an energized circuit. These exceptions should only be considered when de-energizing the equipment is not feasible or would create a greater hazard. When working on energized pull boxes or vaults, NEC Article 490.26 mandates specific precautions. Firstly, appropriate personal protective equipment, known as PPE, including rubber gloves, safety glasses, and insulated tools, must be used. Secondly, insulated blankets or other protective barriers should be utilized to prevent accidental contact with energized parts. Thirdly, a voltage tester must be employed to verify that the circuit is de-energized before touching any wires or other equipment. Fourthly, only tools that are rated for the voltage of the circuit should be used. These precautions minimize the risk of electric shock and arc flash. OSHA regulations further reinforce the NEC requirements for working on energized pull boxes and vaults. According to 29 CFR 1910.333, only qualified persons are allowed to perform electrical work on energized lines and equipment. This regulation aligns with the NEC emphasis on qualified personnel. 29 CFR 1910.333 mirrors NEC Article 490.25, stating that pull boxes and vaults must be de-energized before any work is performed within them, unless firstly, the work is necessary to restore power to an existing circuit, secondly, it is necessary to make an emergency repair, or thirdly, it is necessary to test or inspect an energized circuit. Similar to the NEC, OSHA provides exceptions for specific situations where de-energizing is not feasible. When working on energized pull boxes or vaults, 29 CFR 1910.333 outlines essential precautions. Firstly, appropriate PPE, including insulated gloves, safety glasses, and insulated tools, must be used. Secondly, insulated barriers or protective shields should be utilized to prevent accidental contact with energized parts. Thirdly, voltage testers must be employed to verify that the circuit is energized before touching any wires or other equipment. Fourthly, only tools that are rated for the voltage of the circuit should be used. These precautions mirror the NEC requirements and aim to minimize electrical hazards. In addition to these specific regulations, OSHA has additional requirements for electrical safety programs. Firstly, employers must develop and implement a comprehensive safety program for electrical work, which includes specific procedures for working on energized pull boxes and vaults. Secondly, employees must receive thorough training on the safety program and the specific procedures for working on energized pull boxes and vaults. Thirdly, employers must provide adequate supervision and oversee electrical work to ensure compliance with OSHA regulations. These additional requirements ensure a safe working environment for electrical workers. Understanding and adhering to these NEC and OSHA regulations is crucial for protecting qualified electrical workers from electrical hazards when working on or near energized pull boxes and vaults. Failure to comply with these regulations can result in serious injuries or fatalities. Prior to commencing any work on or near energized electrical equipment, it is essential to verify the specific requirements and guidelines outlined in the latest editions of the NEC and OSHA regulations. Regular review of these standards is essential to stay informed and ensure compliance. Qualified electrical workers must receive comprehensive training on safe work practices, including the proper use of PPE, insulated tools, and voltage testers. This training should cover the specific hazards associated with working on or near energized equipment and the appropriate procedures to mitigate those risks. Employers play a crucial role in promoting electrical safety by developing and implementing comprehensive safety programs, providing adequate training and supervision, and ensuring that employees have access to the necessary PPE and tools. By prioritizing safety, employers can create a safer working environment for their employees. Regular safety audits and inspections should be conducted to identify potential hazards and ensure compliance with NEC and OSHA regulations. These audits should assess the effectiveness of the safety program, identify areas for improvement, and track progress in reducing electrical hazards. The electrical work should be carefully planned and coordinated to minimize the need for working on or near energized equipment. Whenever possible, equipment should be de-energized before commencing any work. If de-energizing is not feasible, alternative work methods should be considered to reduce the risk of electrical contact. The use of insulated tools and equipment is essential when working on or near energized electrical equipment. Insulated tools provide a barrier between the worker and the energized parts, reducing the risk of electric shock. Regular inspection and maintenance of insulated tools are crucial to ensure their effectiveness. Voltage testers are indispensable tools for verifying that electrical circuits are de-energized before commencing any work. Voltage testers should be used to test all conductors and equipment before touching them. Regular calibration of voltage testers is essential to ensure their accuracy. Personal protective equipment, or PPE, such as rubber gloves, safety glasses, and insulated clothing, provides an additional layer of protection against electrical hazards. PPE should be selected based on the specific hazards present in the work environment. Regular inspection and maintenance of PPE are essential to ensure its effectiveness. Communication is critical when working on or near energized electrical equipment. Workers should communicate with each other to ensure that everyone is aware of the hazards and the safety procedures in place. Clear and concise communication can help prevent accidents. Lockout/tagout procedures should be implemented to prevent accidental energization of equipment during maintenance or repair work. Lockout/tagout procedures involve disconnecting the equipment from its power source and placing a lock and tag on the disconnecting device. The lock and tag prevent the equipment from being accidentally energized while work is being performed. Arc flash is a dangerous phenomenon that can occur when working on or near energized electrical equipment. Arc flash is a sudden release of electrical energy that can cause severe burns, blindness, and even death. Workers should be trained on the hazards of arc flash and the appropriate precautions to take to protect themselves. In addition to the NEC and OSHA regulations, there may be other applicable standards and guidelines that should be considered when working on or near energized electrical equipment. These standards and guidelines may be specific to the type of equipment being worked on or the industry in which the work is being performed. Staying informed about these additional requirements is essential for ensuring a safe working environment. Continuous improvement is essential for maintaining a safe electrical working environment. Employers should continuously evaluate the safety programs, identify areas for improvement, and implement changes to reduce the risk of electrical hazards. By prioritizing safety, employers can create a culture of safety that protects their employees and prevents accidents. When working in confined spaces such as pull boxes and vaults, additional safety precautions are necessary. Confined spaces may present hazards such as limited access, poor ventilation, and the presence of hazardous gases. Workers should be trained on the hazards of confined spaces and the appropriate procedures to take to protect themselves. A confined space permit may be required before entering a confined space. The permit ensures that the space has been properly evaluated and that the necessary safety precautions have been taken. Rescue procedures should be in place in case of an emergency in a confined space. Workers should be trained on the rescue procedures and the equipment that is available for a rescue. When working with underground electrical systems, additional safety precautions are necessary. Underground electrical systems may be located near other utilities such as gas and water lines. Workers should be trained on the hazards of working near underground utilities and the appropriate procedures to take to protect themselves. Before digging near underground utilities, workers should call the local one-call center to have the utilities located. The one-call center will mark the location of the underground utilities so that workers can avoid them. When working with overhead electrical systems, additional safety precautions are necessary. Overhead electrical systems may be located near trees, buildings, and other structures. Workers should be trained on the hazards of working near overhead electrical systems and the appropriate procedures to take to protect themselves. Workers should maintain a safe distance from overhead electrical lines. The safe distance depends on the voltage of the electrical line. Workers should use insulated tools and equipment when working near overhead electrical lines. Electrical safety is a shared responsibility. Employers, employees, and other stakeholders must work together to create a safe working environment. By prioritizing safety, we can prevent accidents and protect the lives of electrical workers. The NEC and OSHA regulations are not intended to be exhaustive. There may be other safety precautions that are necessary depending on the specific circumstances of the work being performed. Workers should use their judgment and experience to identify potential hazards and take appropriate precautions. If workers are unsure about how to safely perform a task, they should ask for help from a qualified person. There is no shame in asking for help. It is better to be safe than sorry. Electrical safety is an ongoing process. We must continue to learn and improve our safety practices to prevent accidents and protect the lives of electrical workers. By working together, we can create a safer world for everyone. Remember to always consult the most recent versions of the NEC and OSHA standards for the most up-to-date information and requirements. Staying current with these regulations is essential for maintaining a safe working environment and protecting electrical workers from potential hazards. In addition to the regulations and guidelines already discussed, consider the specific voltage levels involved in the electrical systems you are working on. Higher voltages pose a greater risk of electric shock and arc flash, requiring more stringent safety measures. Ensure that all PPE and tools are rated for the voltage levels you are working with. Regularly inspect your PPE for any signs of damage or wear. Damaged PPE should be replaced immediately. Before commencing work, conduct a thorough risk assessment to identify potential hazards and determine the appropriate safety precautions. Involve all workers in the risk assessment process to ensure that everyone is aware of the hazards and the safety procedures. Develop a detailed work plan that outlines the steps involved in the task and the safety precautions that will be taken. Communicate the work plan to all workers involved in the task. Use job safety analysis, known as JSA, to identify potential hazards associated with each step of the task and develop control measures to mitigate those hazards. Conduct regular safety meetings to discuss safety issues, review safety procedures, and share lessons learned from past incidents. Encourage workers to report any safety concerns or near misses. Investigate all incidents and near misses to determine the root causes and implement corrective actions to prevent recurrence. Provide ongoing safety training to workers to ensure that they are up to date on the latest safety practices and regulations. Evaluate the effectiveness of your safety program on a regular basis and make adjustments as needed. Benchmark your safety performance against industry best practices. Celebrate safety successes to reinforce a positive safety culture. Hold supervisors accountable for safety performance. Integrate safety into all aspects of your business operations. Make safety a core value of your organization. By implementing these additional measures, you can further enhance your electrical safety program and create a safer working environment for your employees.